Hey guys, welcome to the live. I just got off work not too long ago, so I was gonna make a video, and then I decided, hey, you know what, whatever, I'm just gonna do a live. Who's ever here is here. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a good Monday, and tomorrow's Canada Day. So happy Canada Day tomorrow, everybody. And Kimber, yeah, I just got home, like I said. Um, so Darren's son, what did Darren's son have to say? If you could do a quick gist of it. Was he talking about? Well, I'll let you say first. I don't know anything about the phone call, but I do know something else with Darren. But I'm not sure if the son said it or not on Dolly's. But I'll have to listen to that later. But anyways, welcome you guys. This isn't going to be a very long live. It's so hot, so I don't care. Watch my hair blow because it's like 23 now, but it's so hot here. It was like 30 today, I think, pretty much. Hi, hi there, Spooner. So happy Canada Day, Rhonda. Thank you for joining us, of course. Hi, Lee. How are you? Janie made a few comments in uncensored Facebook group tonight. Guy with drone picture post. I had to block someone and now can't see a bunch of messages. I don't know about that either. To be honest, guy with drone is disgusting. He did that video on the road of Daniel's brothers and also took a video walking past Daniel's house around the first week of the children went missing. Sorry, Daniel's dad. Daniel's dad would be Earl. So yeah, so if you can just give the quick gist of that, don't forget you guys, Streamlabs is in the house. If you don't use your punctuation properly, Streamlabs will slap you and tell you to refrain from posting a link. I was just about to go to bed. Hi, Drippy. How are you? Happy Canada Day, everyone. Mama, are you being abusive again? Hi, Osprey. Me too. On there. Didn't think you were doing it. I wasn't planning on it, actually. But then I thought I would. You know, now, I'm going to say this and I'm going to say this again. But, you know, it's very nominal. But there's always people that are going to gripe and whine because somehow they can't afford $1.99 to become a member. Again, members get certain perks. I did one yesterday, and it ended up being, well, different than I intended it to be a little bit. But I didn't feel like doing an actual live. So I thought I was going to do a fun one with the members and stuff like that. But please, some people have credit, like can't use their cards, and that's different. I don't know what your issue is there, to be honest with you. I can't fix that issue if you can't. But honestly, I don't know where this entitlement comes from of thinking that people that actually pay for membership and that people that don't actually deserve more, especially when like I do all the work and stuff like that, and members pay to become members of the channel so they can have perks. So everything else is free. But I don't want to listen to anybody whine about $1.99 a month. If you can't afford it, I'm sorry, but then your life is going sideways if you can't afford $1.99. But don't whine that other people pay for memberships and then we do lives, okay? I've only done 2, and I only decided to do one at the last minute yesterday because I just didn't feel like doing a live. But I'm just going to say that again, right? Members pay to become members so they can have perks, so they don't have to have the slow mode, so they can use emojis, so they can come into a member's live. I just don't know where this entitlement comes from, where the person that's bitching, literally, what are you doing? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have anything to contribute besides your mouth, right? So I'm just going to make that clear again. So anyone that takes offense to that, I'm so sorry, but that's just the way it is. All channels have, well, not all, but most channels have where you can join and become a member if you choose to. If you don't, that's fine. Then watch all the free content. It's not like I have some hidden, stuff. But so I decided to do this live tonight because I wasn't planning on playing this one video that a lot of people don't seem to know about, obviously. So I thought I would share it with you guys today on the non-membership. Because I hadn't intended on playing it yesterday. So that's why I'm doing this live today. And as well, probably, more than possibly, Malehya'S lawyer, who Malehya'S lawyer will just say might be. So although I'm pretty sure it is, I don't have that connection to show a receipt. But I think on this one, 2 + 2, right? But just take it with a grain of salt like anything else. on there. But again, thanks to the members that did come in yesterday's live. Again, I've been working my butt off on this case. Okay. So please, I just don't know. I don't need people to gripe and complain about $1.99 a month. If you can't afford it, like I said, maybe go freaking pick some bottles out of the garbage can or something. I don't know. But don't gripe about content when I'm the one doing the work. And then you're coming in here kind of griping about it. But other than that, you guys, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Just wanted to put that out there because that's why I'm doing this live, is to show you guys that video from last night for the people, and also show you, like the lawyer and stuff like that. And as for, like I said, Dolly, I haven't had time to watch Dolly. His son just said he's tired of his family getting threats and harassment. I want to say this. It's understandable, obviously. Obviously, Darren has put himself out there, right? And with that, unfortunately, Darren didn't know it. Nobody that is a family member, and when they have a case going on and then the true crime media covers it, they have no clue what they're in for, to be honest with you. And the sad part about it is that there's people out there that do those nasty things. They, start sending off threats, which is just a no. Okay. But these people exist, and it's pathetic and it's sad. But you know what? Sad thing is that it's not going to change. So unless there's ever some laws out there, where they can literally, track the person and, or the person can report it and stuff like that. But unfortunately, it's like walking into like a wildfire when somebody doesn't know what true crime is. Are you flying drones over his house? Hi, Irish girl. How are you? Who missed you? Shit, wasn't me, right? Nah. Anyways, so regardless of everything, again, Jack and Lily, 1,000 billion%. Any case that I follow, right, is simply about the victims. So in this case, it's Jack and Lily, and it will never be about anything more than that. It's always about them first and foremost. This is what we do for the awareness. If, like I said, family members have been gracious enough to talk and stuff like that. So I love that myself. I love boots on the ground as well. Happy Canada Day, everybody. Any new information on the case? Well, like the only really new information is going to be if people are talking and family members. Sloan Bella, you missed your mark. Sorry, Sloan Bella. Now I'm going to have to freaking kick you to the curb right now because it's the 30th. So unless something happens tomorrow, I'll give you that break on Canada Day. But as for now, it hasn't. Besides, I'm going to share with you, again, what probably is Malehya'S lawyer, and the video of Logan and Cheryl. So you guys know that beach pic with Cheryl and Malehy'a in it, that one there. I told them it was fun and worth $1.99. You weren't putting all content behind a firewall. I don't work that way. I don't work that way about content. Whenever I do members lives, sure, I might show a few things that I have. But it's not about, oh my God, I'm going to keep all this from you and stuff like that. So I find it offensive when these people come along and start griping, to me, because honestly, I don't have the time of day for it. You guys know this stuff, right? We're just here to play nice. We don't need ignorant comments, and we don't need, grief, especially, like I said, for the time that I put into this after my full-time job and stuff like that. It will always be about the victims. My whole life has always been geared around just being, just a good, honest, decent person. Never putting a money value before any person ever in my life. I don't work that way. I'm not that way. And if people can't see that, too bad for them. Go watch another channel. I just don't have the time of day to sit there and listen to those people. So when I saw that one comment when I was at work, I was just like, block, don't need you. Go watch somebody else then. Don't watch the content. You want to gripe. She has a criminal lawyer. I thought she just had well, he's a criminal and he's a family lawyer. Hi, Lori. How are you? Yeah, he's basically like a kind of like a jack of all trade lawyer, it seems like. Yeah, you guys' all names are back. I don't know what was going on with that. Now, Lori, you can't have that last name without me kind of laughing a little bit, okay? McNutt. They're nut jobs to her. Maybe that's why her last name is McNutt for all the nutties out there, especially in a small town. Again, hi, Rhonda. Okay. Kim, his son just sounds like him, cursing every second word. He says someone was flying a drone over his house, and the RCMP were there this morning because of a tip that they had on Jacqueline and Lily. Yeah, I'll catch Dolly later. I was watching a little bit of his yesterday's live, just a little bit, didn't have much time. And I love his tiki. I love tiki bars. I remember when my twin sister, oh, which reminds me, you guys, I'll get to that in a second. So, but I remember when my sister, my twin, she had done a tiki bar for her birthday. So for her kids, everything was a theme, always a theme. And me and her, when it comes to parties, but she's amazing at like cupcakes and cakes and decorations. Amazing. I posted the poster again today, the groups I'm on. Okay, there. Thank you. Wise old lady. Okay, let me try to scroll down. Hi Vanessa, how are you? I think that's what makes you better than others. Thank you, Tan. I appreciate that. Like I said, let's just always keep it real. I will always keep everything real. I don't play games. I don't play mind games. I don't play head games. I don't do clickbait. I don't do anything. I don't sit there and promote donations or anything like that. I'm just here, like I said, in my spare time that I have, and I have a lot of it because I'm not a very sociable butterfly outside of work. I just like to come home to my husband and talk to you guys on this channel. Um, on the main page of it, actually, it's pinned in the comment thing. If you actually want to become a member, Paula. But other than that, you would just hit subscribe if it's just that you want to get the alerts when I do a live. So that's totally up to you. But it is pinned in the comment above on there. YouTube was, I think YouTube, yeah. Jesus, bye. Jesus, bye. Yeah. Uh, oh, that was for Belinda. I don't know where I got the word give on that. Anyways, hi, Olivia. I said this is going to be a small live, and yet I'm sitting there keep going back to everybody's names. Hi. Sometimes I just feel guilty, right? If I don't get everybody in sometimes when I'm saying shout out. Some people are like, I'm only going to give the first 3 shout outs, type of thing. I kind of try to like to get as many as I can in. Happy Canada Day, everyone, because you guys are here to watch the channel, right? So I do appreciate that very much. I appreciate your subs. I appreciate your views and coming to join the live. I truly do. This channel, honestly, the thing that I love most to do in this particular space is just to create awareness about cases that I'm very passionate about. And Brian Koberger, okay, Brian Koberger, Idaho 4, that's right. That's right. Take it. Because you know what? Honestly, I would have took the death penalty myself if I was Brian Koberger. Honestly, do you really want to live all your life, all your natural life behind bars? Nah, you know what? Put me out of my misery, dude. But anyways, so guilty as sin, that gentleman, what? I don't even want to call him a gentleman. Okay, he's a POS, is what he is. He took the lives of 4 beautiful young students, and just horrific. Took criminology, all that stuff, crazy, right? Do you know what I mean? These psychos, right? They sit there and they take the courses because why, right? And then the idiot leaves his freaking DNA on the sheath. Like, dude, you thought you had it all planned out with your stupid turning off your phone and act like people weren't going to see your digital data and all that stuff. But God, I mean, thank you so much for leaving your freaking print on their knife sheath. Crazy, crazy. Thank you, Paula. Appreciate that. Okay, so just quickly, I want to show you this. Okay, so obviously I'm the one to the left. That was probably, geez, how old am I now? 56? Ah, God. Geez, darn it. That was like 10 years ago then. That's my twin sister in the middle. Her name is Tanya. So as you can see, we do not look alike. She was born 10 minutes earlier than I was, but that's Tanya. That's my twin sister. The person to the right, that is Alexa. Alexa is a friend of ours and of this channel. She is a criminal profiler. Well, she's a former criminal profiler. Okay, body language expert, and graphologist. Okay, so handwriting, body language expert, and again, criminal profiler. So Alexa, you guys. So Thursday, you guys know, is my birthday, my twins and my birthday. So I figure because my husband works and my twin works, I figure I can get a live in with Alexa on Thursday. And I'm thinking it's going to be about 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That would be 5 Nova Scotia. And obviously it would be like 1 o'clock. No, yeah, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Okay. I've been wanting her on. I actually forgot to message her back last time, but Alexa always used to come on the channel in the Delphi case and stuff like that. But sometimes life gets busy and I get busy. She gets busy, but we're still really good friends. So we're going to have, as far as I know, Alexa's going to be joining us on Thursday afternoon. Well, afternoon my time, more like dinner time, your guys' time. Okay. So let's just see. Oh, and so I do want to show this one because this is one of my favorite pictures. Okay. This is me. So you guys know that I said that I left an abusive relationship of 11 years, right? So I was 26 when that happened. And about 2 months later, so I'm 26 in this picture. And I went to Disneyland. That's my little niece, Paige. So my twin sister, that's her daughter, who's now 30 something years old. But anyways, so this one's called Get At Me, Shania. Okay. Because me and Shania, I don't have her voice. In fact, I have to sing so low that nobody can hear me typically, but whatever. Okay. Had a few threats come my way by the husband sometimes. But anyway, so that was Get At Me, Shania. So that was my favorite. That Disneyland trip, mwah, I loved it. It's a small world. Best ride ever, besides the rest of it. But anyway, so I'm just showing you a little bit of the old Sunny. You know what? That is the bomb Sunny, the one that had the bod to go with it, the one that's hidden underneath the fat rolls now on there. But anyways, I worked in cosmetics before that. And then I moved away from the abusive relationship and I went to go live with my twin sister. And then a couple months later, we went to Disneyland. Okay. Just quickly again, Jack and Lily, they disappeared on May 2nd to this date. We're 2 days shy, you guys, of Jack and Lily being 2 months. Crazy, 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 right? This thing to me should have been solved already. I don't know what the heck it is. So who knows if there's some truth to being hidden. But you see this gentleman right here? We'll get into him. His name is Michael McDonald. And Michael McDonald is an Indigenous lawyer for the Mi'kmaq and for the Nicky, but I'll show more of him in just a second on there. Actually I'll show that in just, actually, let me just look at your comments. We have the same name as do our sisters. Really? Like us? Are we like this? Mama Angie, Darren had corrected that. The next day he called in. I'm just trying to see. Jamie said in that group that her brother didn't call at 8:48. That's a huge change. Okay, well that's what Belinda had said, that the brother called at 8:48. So I'm not sure. I have to ask Belinda on that one. But I'm giving Belinda a few days off. Yeah. I mean, she's been through a lot. It's been almost 2 months. She came on the live. She came and did for the fundraiser. Don't forget about that fundraiser. They had to change the prices on the bracelets, though, because it's their first time, guys, and they didn't really understand. So if you did order something from, okay, don't message me about it. Don't ask me about that stuff. On the community post, there is her email address, and they're requesting that anyone that did purchase anything, because there was, it was their first time, they made some errors. Okay, so all good. But on the community post, it says how to get in touch with Alana. Let them know your address, what color bracelets, because there's blue and pink. Okay, guys, but don't message me about that, because I was only doing a favor by promoting the fundraiser for Belinda and for Lana and stuff like that. But they're the ones with the answers. So you can either reach out to Lana King on Messenger, or you can email at the, I think it's Alana _King, whatever it is. It's on the community post. Okay, guys? So just saying. let's see. I'm just trying to read these. Darren's son Jordan was on Dolly's show. No, I haven't had time. I just got home from work. I will. Did you? I would definitely will watch it. Him and his family are being harassed. Right. So Darren already said that as well. And don't get me wrong. Like I said, I can understand because Darren, regardless, he's fighting the fight for Jack and Lily. Okay. Now that's his mission to do. But what happens is that these trolls, these POSs, pieces of crap, whatever, they decide that they're going to search out his entire family, send messages and stuff like that. I don't know how much of it's a maybe somewhat on the exaggeration versus truth of it all. I don't know. Other than that, regardless, this is what happens. And sometimes, right, then it impacts the family members because obviously Darren's, a big spotlight right now, right? And all these people in a small community are going to know him. And that's why he got kicked out, right? With that lady he was living with, because people get scared. They got children. They want to hide. They don't want to be part of it. So, unfortunately, again, Darren, when he walked into this, he wouldn't have known that stuff, but he's come this far, so I just hope he keeps up the good fight for Jack and Lily, because it's kind of like he's already kind of crossed that threshold now. So I really do hope, I hope he does what's best for him. Let me put it that way. Someone was in the background with him, probably his dad. I don't know. Yeah, Belinda corrected that. Darren made a boo-boo. Okay. Well, which one are you talking about? Because if you talk about the time, that was between Janie and Belinda, that time. Lisa, there was a post underneath somewhere. Okay. So, Joseph, I think Joseph Moore said, someone was saying that the kids were at the park again. Oh my God. Okay. If you guys come across this big loser in true crime called Paul Duffy, okay, ignore that idiot. Okay. So that's the same idiot that started this whole park thing, or I don't know if he actually started it, probably did. I've seen his name before. Okay. We'll just say he got special needs or something. Okay. This person is an idiot. Paul Duffy, right? Just don't listen to crap like that. There's no receipts to back it up. Don't even entertain that stuff, you guys. If there's no receipts, right? Don't sit there and push it and stuff like that, especially from morons like that. Seriously, that guy was in here and then I blocked him from here because somebody had said that to me, and I'm like, oh my God, seriously? Like, come on, right? And because as soon as you look at it that it's a bunch of crap. So it's kind of like those AI videos, right? I don't got time of day to waste my brain cells on useless information that have no basis to them. Yeah, so that's the guy, Paul Duffy. Remember that name. Every time you see it, just block him from your chat. Useless. Yeah. Yes. Darren even said that one time they went, when he went to question some of the people about the case. Remember, he said on the show that he was not sure that he would even be coming home that day. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Well, I remember. I know exactly. Darren has, spoke on here. He spoke, obviously even more privately, but basically, son's pissed. You know, uh, doesn't want to be harassed, and his dad is his dad regardless. But I get it. I can't say I don't get it, because I obviously do, at the end of the day. But I don't know why, like, this. Okay, so did Jordan, did you actually think that by coming on to Dolly's live that somehow was going to ease off the people off you? Because that's not the case. I'm sorry to say. You can try to clear up things all you want. The more you put yourself out there to the public, the more that's going to come at you, sadly. So that was probably not the greatest idea to do. If your dad's already out there, that's one thing. But to literally insert yourself to it, you're just asking for more to come at you. That's just the truth. Um, Pearls is banking down on drug bullshit. Yeah. Well, bank on whatever he wants. We all don't know the answer, to be honest with you. You know, I know Dolly said, "Well, it's the first time I ever heard somebody saying that they were over medicated and all the 1,000 calls." And I'm like, smirking my head off. I'm like, Dolly, we said that on this channel already, freaking near the beginning, when everyone was talking about the party, that perhaps that they, gave them some medication, maybe because they were sick, maybe they gave them too much, something happened, right? And then they were just covering their asses. Don't know, to be honest. But anyways, so I'm just gonna quickly go over Michael, the lawyer. And I don't want to say 1,000% it is. I'll say I'm pretty probably sure it is, but I don't got the receipts because I haven't tagged. Um, I think it's 2+2 on this one, but I haven't tagged like where he has a Facebook and I can go, oh, there. I just haven't had enough time to dive into it more than I already kind of have. Okay, so I'm gonna present this, guys. Let's see here. And then we'll go to the video, okay? Okay, so I wanted to show you this right here. And you guys, here, let me make that bigger off the screen. Thank you, Miss Persevere. You've been a follower for a long time. Felt like I was arguing a bit ago in another chat, but wasn't sure about what. uh, I don't think people are threatening him necessarily. People are following the case, might be involved in the disappearance. I don't think people. Well, again, people do threaten people all the time in these true crime cases because they're nasty and they're mean and they're ignorant and they're hiding behind a computer, right? But that doesn't stop people that aren't in true crime from getting worried about their family members and stuff because they're not used to it. But there are cases, obviously, where you guys know there's some psycho ass people out there in true crime that have literally taken out YouTubers. I mean, we saw the one with the girl in Mexico there, where watching her, and then what happened during the live stream. We saw the one where a follower kind of befriended the channel, and then he went to the home and took out the Fandango. Yeah, so they're crazy out there. Okay, guys, don't be fooled by that. Those people walk around. At least, sorry, you guys, but most of them were over in the United States. Not as many quite here in Canada. Our population is quite different. Okay, so just to connect. Okay, so this, of course, is Michelle Glasgow. Okay, and she married, so obviously having the last name Glasgow. This is her dad right here, and which was Chief Alexander McDonald. Okay, so John McDonald. So that's the grandfather. So her last name, of course, would have been McDonald. Hence, that her brother is the lawyer of the, we'll say, the Mi'kmaq. I can't say it if I tried. You have to learn how to say that. Speenickatic. Whatever. Okay. Sorry if I'm butchering it. Okay. I know it's so wrong of me to try to pronounce something that I can't pronounce at all, but Sipnikatik. Sip on my knee, Katik. Maybe that's how I'll associate it, if I'm even saying it right then. But anyways, okay, so obviously we know that it was said that Michelle's brother, who's a lawyer, is the one that's handling the case for Malaya. Again, so I will, oh, hi guys, too close. Let's not, okay? We're too close here. Hi there. How you doing? Just kidding. I hate it when I do that. I do not like being on full screen. Let me just move my ass back over here. All right. Present. What am I doing? Present. Share screen. And okay. So again, So this is Michael McDonald. So again, I was just trying to show, let you guys know that, so he's a lawyer, right? Family lawyer, criminal lawyer, for the same tribe. Is that what the word we're going to use? Um, and so the chances are that this is very likely Michelle's brother, same last name, McDonald, to Michael McDonald. Okay. And if it's not, just on the slim chance that it's not, well, you're getting exposure. Hi, Michael. How are you? But, anyways, I'm going to play something quickly for you. And I'll just make that a little bit bigger. Yeah, yeah, Shooby works too. Yeah, we'll call Shooby Doo. Shooby Doo. Okay. Thanks, Lisa. Uh, right. Exactly. Okay, so let me go back. Oh my god, I did it again. Okay, whatever. Let's go. Share screen. Come on, you can do it. Let's see here. Right here. Okay. Um. Oh, hello. Found you again. Let's go. Yeah, let me go to bed. No, I work 10 to 6 tomorrow, guys, just so you know. I told you, I got some wonky little bit schedule going on here. But for anyone coming in, um, my friend Alexa, we should be doing a live on Thursday afternoon, 1 my time, 4 her time, Eastern, and 5 o'clock, say, Nova Scotia time, okay? She's a criminal profiler, body language expert, and graphologist. Okay, and her name is Alexa. And I'll just put it up there one more time. So that's me and my twin sister, and Alexa is off to the right hand side. It's just on the same picture, so I'm just leaving it. Okay, so that's Alexa. Okay, so go back here. Whoops, I got to take that back off. Remove. Okay, so with this part here, you guys, I'm gonna play it. Shh. Joe, you made it. Welcome, Joe. Okay, so I'm just like, I'm gonna let that thing. I'm not, instead of me reading it, I'm gonna let that thing play it. So how a part-time historian is dismantling misconceptions of the Mi'kmaq culture. In this case, it's called Mi'kmaq. I actually learned what that one was. So I think Mi'kmaq was singular, whereas Mi'kmaq means people. Okay, the people. Okay, so I'm just gonna play it from here. So let's listen up. Hold on, let me get the volume up first.
How a part-time historian is dismantling misconceptions about Mi'kmaq culture. Michael McDonald of Sipekne'katik First Nation is sharing his research and writings on Facebook. Michael McDonald was just a teenager when he had the opportunity to sit with Mi'kmaq elders. In school.
Can you hear it,
And I
guys?
felt that it was important to get that information.
Oh, my bad. Hold on.
Over the past few years, McDonald has written some historical articles for the Nova Scotia Advocate, but he has recent, and so the sad reality is that a lot of these elders ended up passing away, and when they're gone, so went all the stories. That loss of knowledge is what inspired McDonald to start doing his own research and sharing it with others online. There's a lot of information that's there. You just have to know how to look for it and where to look for it, he said. It's just stuff that we're not told or taught in school, and I felt that it was important to get that information out. Over the past few years, McDonald has written some historical articles for the Nova Scotia Advocate, but he has recently turned to his own Facebook page to share important stories and history. MacDonald said most of his research has been done through the Halifax Armory, which has documents relating to all the meetings that happened when Halifax was first established. He also uses the Halifax Municipal Archives, which has material from Nicholas Denai, who spent 50 years living with the Mi'kmaq people during the mid to late 1600s. He said those documents have allowed him to better understand how the Mi'kmaq lived and what they faced as a people. It also helped him correct some misconceptions about the Mi'kmaq. He said growing up, he would often hear people say that the Mi'kmaq people never believed in ownership of the land or they didn't believe in that sense of title. However, I found that wasn't the case. In every single letter that the chiefs wrote to the British at the time, the chiefs clearly stated, "This is our land. If you come on our land uninvited, we'll see you as an enemy and we'll attack you," he said. It was a demonstration of that whole concept of property rights. The essence of property law at its core is your right to exclude other people from your land, and that's exactly what those chiefs did at the time. MacDonald has also written about how the British called the Mi'kmaq semi-nomadic in an effort to weaken land claims and how pre-contact Mi'kmaq populations have been misconstrued. He is also trying to bring attention to the lack of Mi'kmaq representation within the Nova Scotia Public Prosecution Service. By sharing this history and his experiences as a Mi'kmaq lawyer on Facebook, he's hoping to educate others through a Mi'kmaq perspective. The one thing you have to understand is that when the British wrote history, they wrote a history in such a way that followed their own agendas, MacDonald said. And so when I read everything, I would decipher it as a Mi'kmaq person and what I learned of who we are as Mi'kmaq people, and that's what is missing. MacDonald said his research and writings are available to everyone, so they can learn the truth about Mi'kmaq history and culture. I feel that by putting it out there, I think all Nova Scotians can have a better understanding of who we are as Mi'kmaq people and the things that we have endured and survived, he said. The fact that we're still here says a lot about the resilience of our people and who we are as a people in general.
Okay. So, again, that goes back to, oops, not even sure myself. Okay. So that goes back to that. I put a question mark, of course, beside Malehya'S lawyer, because chances are that this is, but there's a slight chance. Like, again, it's Michelle Glasgow. Her last name is the same thing, MacDonald. Obviously, he's the lawyer that represents, and he does criminal and family law and stuff like that. So I'm not going to put my stamp of 100% on this one, because I still have to connect the two, meaning Michelle and Michael here. But anyway, so chances are there's a good chance that this is Malehya'S lawyer. And what I want to say about that before we get into that video that I played last night. Yeah, interesting. If there's one thing that I love, I'm like a person that loves knowledge. Okay, now it depends what type of knowledge it is, but I'm kind of like Charmaine. I absorb a lot of information because power is knowledge, right? So during the course of this case, obviously, I'm getting to know more about the Mi'kmaq singular people type of thing, Shubi, so different things, right? So it's very interesting. So regardless, even though I still believe it's Malehya'S lawyer, regardless, it's just go look them up on Google yourself, right? Meaning do your homework yourself. Go look them up. If anyone does happen to beat me because I have to work and everything, someone does happen to find the actual connection where I can connect them for sure, 100%. Then that would be great. Just send it to me. If you are on my messenger, send it to me there on the It's a Crime and Shame messenger. Or if you're someone that's attached to me in my real messenger, or at crimeandshame@gmail.com. Okay. I really need to put that on here. It's on the Blue Live. 1 second. So this is the Canadian banner, but this one here, right, at crimeandshame@gmail.com. Okay. And that, so go back to the Canadian one here. All right. So again, interesting, right? member for 2 months, became a member for only $1.99. $1.99? Are you out of your mind? Are you sure you can afford that, Mark? Because the person that was bitching at me today basically wrote this long ass post telling me how he thought I was different, but now I'm just trying to reap money through memberships. Well, I want to tell you one thing. There's a couple people, 2 people that joined the membership yesterday. And guess what, guys? Not one donation. So if you want to sit there and accuse me of sitting there trying to earn all this money during the thing, now the members live before that, a lot of people were very generous and were donating. But in saying that, again, it's not why I do things. I don't ask people to do it. Now, if somebody wants to become a member, again, if it's going to break your bank, don't do it, you know? But then don't whine about it either, because members deserve perks. Simple as that. Other than that, it's free material, right? And that's why I'm showing you guys that in a minute. Mi'kmaq is singular. Yeah, like the Mi'kmaq. That, I did learn that, just like I learned that Mi'kmaq meant people as well. So again, just Google Michael McDonald yourself, just like I did. This particular page, let's see here, was, I'll drop that here. 1 second. That particular one that we just watched was right there, you know. So yeah, I mean, their family seems to be of very good standing and stuff like that. Now, the question will still remain is what happened to Jack and Lily? What happened to these precious ones, right? I would just love, good evening, Nancy. I would just love that these 2 children are being kept in a safe space and hidden, perhaps, right? I don't know what all those rules are and what they can do and not do, but obviously, I think we all kind of get the impression that a lot of us think that, Malehy'a doesn't seem like she's overly worried over on her side of the court. Why do we think that? Well, I still think that there's some telltale signs here. We know that they both lied, but why are they both lying? Is one lying more so because they did something? Did they both have knowledge, or did Malehy'a want out of there and seized an opportunity and maybe did a sloppy job of how she went about it? And because one thing I want you guys to remember is that Malehya'S actions are very strange on that interview. I think all of us know that. We also know there was definitely a scripted going on, but maybe that was the moment. And when obviously, according to Daniel, that after like that press conference, that Malehy'a bolts with her mother within a 5 minutes, has a total disgust, or can't even look at Daniel, is how he said it to Charmaine. Okay, so can't even look at Daniel. So that tells you, right, that that's like a thing of disgust if you can't even look at somebody. Now, we have to remember that within a few days, Malehy'a goes to her Facebook and she takes down all the pictures of Daniel. Anything to do with pictures of Daniel, she's taken down. The family is accusing Daniel of having something to do with the children's disappearance. So in all of that, try to remember everything that we've been listening to, knowing full well that there's definitely been some lies. But were the lies for a reason, right? From Malehya'S side, for Daniel's side. If I was to be a betting person, which I am, I'd probably say that if I was to go with Malehya'S side, I would say that she was trying to get out of a bad relationship, perhaps that she felt like Daniel. We never know what's behind the closed doors, okay? I think that there's definitely more going on than meets the eye, like Daniel says. But I think that more from Malehya'S side, and maybe there's a reason why it's not seeming like she cares, is because perhaps she does know that the children were right to get out of there, to protect them, and maybe they did by chance need to be in a better place and be protected. I don't know, again, the laws of the reservation and what what they can do or what they do to help their own, in a sense. I just don't know. When Gray, you found it yesterday. Are you the cat that called Dolly? But anyway, so I just wanted you to remind you that Malaya made some actions herself, and you have to always look at it at everything. So Daniel's family is really the only one speaking, right? And then um, Cheryl comes out of the woodwork. Now, I don't know the point of posting that picture, you know, and I don't care. I mean, it's one of those things is that you look at it and you're like, why? Like, why did you do that? You know that the media would be all over it. Why even talk about it? Now, I messaged her a couple of times and she actually made it so I could, when you accept someone's request. Um, and so twice she looked at my messages. And after that, after I listened to the video we're going to play now, bottom line is, in all fairness, um, Cheryl, honestly, you're doing yourself no favors by speaking up. I would just um, back off, be wise, and back off and stay out of it and let the RCMP deal with it. Um, unless you want to be the center of attention and have people doing like messaging you and you are coming to this whirlwind of a case that's going on. From an unselfish point of view, I would just say, you know what? I would back off and shut up, to be honest with you. But in saying that, um, let's play that clip. There's about, I would say, roughly 8 minutes, even though it's 47 minutes long, but there's 47 minutes altogether once they leave. So obviously, you guys remember that channel that played Logan's interview on TikTok? So it's coming from the same one. And I see that this person that has our channel, I'll show you in just a sec, actually. Share screen. Okay. This one here. Okay. So this channel here, it's called Malaya Brooks Murray Speaks Friends Out for this video. The channel is called Hidden in Fog. I'm just going to take you guys back to this. So this is the channel here, and I'll drop it in chat. Obviously, it's just somebody coming up and trying to make videos. But you can see here that it's a crime and shame, like basically using, from the Facebook or from the YouTube channel and stuff like that. Again, I personally don't care if somebody uses the content from the channel at all, but at least give the channel a shout out. And if you don't, then shame on you, because you really shouldn't use other people's content unless you want to get copyright strikes on your butt, on your channel, right? You really shouldn't. You should always be at least shouting out the channel minimum to it when you're using the content that you got from another channel. So in this case, I'm going to be using the Hidden in the Fog channel. I'm going to drop the link for it. Okay. So if anyone wants to go and subscribe and support this channel, obviously it's a channel for Jack and Lily, and the whole point is to bring awareness. Okay. So if you want to try to help, sub to that channel and build it up a bit, that's always kudos to you guys on that. Okay. So that's what I'm going to play, about 8 minutes of it. This is what I played in the members live yesterday. I didn't know about it, and then it became part of the members live. And so thank you. I think it was to Cindy B. I seen her send it. Maybe she's the one that sent it to Kent, but I seen Kent post it. But either way, I'm grateful to come across this. Now, you guys, your brains are going to hurt. I'm just saying that your brains are going to hurt in listening to this video a little bit, for sure. Mm-hmm. You'll understand once you listen to it. Okay, so we'll play it.
That's right.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
Exactly. So I'm glad that Logan obviously saw you there, and you are who you say you are.
Yes, yeah.
Cheryl?
Yes.
it's Karen. I'm on the panel as well.
Hi, Karen.
Please let Malaya know that there are a lot of people thinking about her, and
Dolly shouts us
we
out.
want,
I know.
to make sure, or as soon as possible, that they find those children.
Absolutely, I will.
Yeah.
Susan runs her lives based on
Oh,
facts,
my bad.
and she will.
Hold on. Sorry, my bad, guys. I don't know why it was starting from there. So just again to preface this is Cheryl. So you guys know the beach pic of Malaya and Cheryl. So this is basically of Logan. So Cheryl's on the live, okay? And this is on TikTok. And then Logan comes up. Now, just to preface this a little bit more, so Cheryl doesn't really know Logan, but they know that they met at the search that day. But again, your brains are going to hurt a little bit on this one. That's cool. Yeah, of course. Dolly knows now. Yeah. To give credit, he's always shouting us. Dolly loves us now. Before he couldn't even pronounce our channel name. So, that's one small step for mankind. I just need a tiki bar to go with that. But anyway, so I'm just going to replay that from the start.
I just wanted to touch on a few things. I was actually there on Friday myself, and
Okay,
I
so
was.
hold.
Oh yes.
Sorry. You were where on Friday, and which Friday, and where are you from?
It was May 2nd. I live in Truro. I'm good friends with Malaya. I just wanted to kind of touch on a few things that you said. So we were the ones that actually found the blanket. And as far as I knew, the blanket was on the railing, not in the garbage. And Malaya didn't leave Saturday morning. It was Saturday evening because an altercation had broken out and Daniel's mother actually tried to attack me. So it was well after supper Saturday when she actually left the premises.
Okay. Is that
I didn't know if I muted myself or not. I don't know how these things work. Yeah, so I just wanted to
okay, so hold on a minute. Hold on.
Yep.
Logan McKenzie is here.
Yep.
Logan, would you mind coming up in the chat?
I can drop down for her, Susan.
No, I have lots of room. Okay, I'm going to have Logan come up because I do know Logan very well. Well, not very well personally, but she's been on the live. I absolutely know her. And I mean, absolutely zero offense to you, Cheryl, but I don't know you. But I do know Logan.
I met Logan over that weekend. I think I met her Saturday, maybe. I can't quite remember exactly who she is, but I do remember meeting her.
Okay, so Logan is going. There we go. Thank you, Logan, for coming up. And let me just say this. I need to warn people of this. We have 142 people in the room. Be aware that we are on the internet. We've got 143 people in the room. There will be twice that watching who are not in the channel. Anybody can be screen recording this and what you say. And it can go on the internet anywhere. So I just want to put it out there and just give a warning before you say stuff. Just make sure that what you say is, Hey, Logan, how are you?
Not too bad.
And Logan knows this firsthand, don't you, Logan?
Yes. My name is dragged all over the internet now.
Yeah. Logan was on my live weeks ago and for quite a while. And it was very, very unfortunate. Somebody screen recorded the entire thing and then splice and dice the entire thing, taking out pieces, not putting in pieces correctly, because Logan actually gave an enormous amount of support to Malaya. And of course that was all removed. So I just want people to be aware that this can happen. So thanks for joining us. So anyway, carry on. Cheryl, I don't know, what were you saying?
That was just it. That we left Saturday evening, not
after the
Saturday
briefing.
morning.
After the briefing on Lansdowne
No,
Station.
it was after the altercation.
You left, but Malaya didn't.
We
Malaya-
all left. Malaya
No.
left with her mother. I
Yes.
left. My sister left. My sister-in-law left. We all left at the same time.
Yes, but the altercation was before the briefing, honey.
And
We all
then
went
there
out.
was one after because your mother was involved in that one.
Yes, and that's when we were
Yes.
saying about the car.
I'm
And then
not sure
I
about
don't know who came back looking for the cell phone, and we were trying to get Malaya's grandmother to leave the house. Yes.
Yes.
But Malaya left right after the briefing. You guys didn't. Malaya left right from the briefing.
5 minutes before us. Yeah.
Yeah, right after the briefing, up at the briefing. She never came back to the house.
No.
You
So
guys
it
did.
wasn't Saturday morning that she had.
No, it was Saturday
that
afternoon after the
It
briefing.
was, yeah, it was Saturday evening. I think around supper time-ish.
Yeah, after the briefing at 4:00.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And the blanket was in the garbage. The cops even went and found the other half in there.
Yeah. As far as I knew, the blanket was on the railing.
Yeah, no, the cops came and collected the other piece. After the other piece was grabbed from the trees.
Yes, yes, where we found it.
I'm still trying to place who you are, but
That's okay. There's so many people.
So no, go ahead, Cheryl. Just identify, like, how do you know Malaya? You said you were good friends with Malaya?
Yeah, I don't really want to touch on that kind of stuff. Kind of just respecting her privacy right now, but I just kind of picked up on a couple of things that you had said, and I wanted to clarify that she most certainly didn't leave Saturday morning. It was Saturday into the evening after the briefing.
yeah, Susan probably misspoke because I said that in our
No,
first
that's okay. That's okay.
where we said where she left because I put the baby in the car for her and her mother drove off. But you guys were supposed to come back for Malaya's car and you guys didn't. Nobody took Malaya's car and it got repoed by what is it? The search and rescue guy got it towed back to wherever Malaya was. So you guys, I thought her stepsister or whatever was supposed to take the car. That was after the whole altercation because they were trying to get
Yeah, I don't
Malaya's
know.
grandmother out of the house because she didn't want to leave.
I don't know. That's not really relevant to anything I was talking with Susan about. I'm not touching on the vehicle.
No, that's fine. I just wanted
anything
to make
like
sure that
I
you
just-
guys knew that Malaya did not come back to the house. She left right from the briefing. You left. from the
Yes, absolutely. I was with her.
I just want to say, Cheryl, it really seems that you're sharing conflicting information between Logan and you. Like, it sounds like, I don't want to sound rude, but like you're saying false things a little bit. And
Like what?
well, you said about you were like coming in here to correct people about the blanket.
Yes,
And you,
because it was on the railing. That's what I was told.
but if you were
Whether it
there,
was on the
took it from the
railing
garbage
can.
or in
I'm
the
just
garbage, it
confused.
doesn't
Hey,
really
hold
matter.
on. We need people to just speak one at a time so
Yeah.
that everybody in the chat can hear.
Sorry, Susan.
No, that's okay. It's just, it gets really confusing for people that are trying to listen to what's going on. So, DJ is making the point, Cheryl, that, and I don't want anybody accusing anyone on the panel of,
I'm not.
yeah. No, I know you aren't, but I'm just gonna.
It's something that I noticed. Sorry to interrupt, but
So yeah, so she's just simply saying that you had come up on the panel to clarify some things that had been said.
Yeah.
And one of those things was that I had said that the blanket had been put in the garbage by Daniel, and that I had gotten that from Logan and Mackenzie. Logan is here. She verifies that.
Mhm.
You had said no, the blanket was on the railing. Now you're saying you thought it was on the railing. Is that correct?
No, I was told it was on the railing.
Okay. So are we okay in agreeing that the blanket was put in the garbage?
I really don't know. I don't think it matters. All I know is the blanket was found in the trees up on the road.
Half of the blanket was correct.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Piece of
So it does matter.
I wouldn't even call it half. Just a piece of it.
Okay, so it does matter where the blanket was. Actually, it is a significant piece to the story.
The investigation.
Mm.
Yeah, the mother too says it all matters. Yeah, so just Cheryl, I appreciate you being here. I really do. I just want to make certain that, and it's not just to Cheryl, but if you if you think something, like you just said, well, I was told it was on, that's absolutely fine, and that's valid to say. Just make sure that you don't put across something as fact that you don't know as fact, but somebody told you, or something that you think. Just make sure you make that clarification so that everybody understands.
Right. Yeah. Did I see it on the railing? No. Did I see it in the tree? Yes. Did I see it in the garbage? No.
No, but we, the cops know it was in the garbage.
Yeah.
There's
No,
a whole video about it.
haven't
But-
asked about
yeah,
it.
exactly.
But yeah. No.
I seen it in the tree
did.
too. That's why I knew.
You what?
I said I was there when you found it in the tree. Like I was there 2 seconds after you guys found it.
Yes. Yeah.
Logan, can I
okay.
ask you a question? Was the whole garbage bag taken with the half of the blanket in the garbage bag that was torn open?
No, see when Daniel found out about the blanket in the tree, because he was in the woods before knowing about it, and found out after Malaya left about it. He went out to the garbage because we all mentioned the blanket. So he went out, he goes, I put that blanket in the garbage, I'm going to say about a week ago, because it was ripped. So him and I forget who else, I think it was his brother, went out, videoed it all, opening up the garbage and like checking around, and you could see it. So like we called the cops right after that. Like the RCMPs came right out after that. But yeah, it was in the garbage. The RCMPs came out and collected it and all. The bag was still in the garbage bin, and the garbage bin was closed.
Okay. Just a clarification for somebody in chat. Logan and Mackenzie is Daniel's first cousin, is very close to the family, and lives, relatively close by. She has been on our chat previously. Cheryl, Christina, it's the first time she's been on my chat, and I welcome her. And she was, from what she says, she was there at the time of the search, and she is affiliated in some way, or a friend or something, to Malaya. Is that correct, Cheryl?
Yes.
Okay.
I've watched your lives a few times. I just haven't said anything.
Okay, Cheryl. Yeah, somebody in chat was just asking, they said, who are these people? Can you please clarify for us? Now, Logan, I did
Yes.
have a question for you.
Sure, honey.
Did you watch Daniel's interview on CBC?
The new one?
Yeah.
Just parts of it. I watched the full part of the grandmothers. I didn't watch fully Daniel's yet.
Okay.
I was speaking with Daniel yesterday, though.
You what?
I was speaking with Daniel yesterday. He was at my house, and he was telling me that he did that interview.
Why won't he come on my live, Logan?
Because he wants to stick with factual the way he said it was.
And
And
those-
news is, and he wants to stick with the more factual. I don't know. That's what he tried to tell me anyway.
The mainstream.
Asked him if he wanted to come on because, and he was lining up this interview here, so I'm not sure what's going on now.
Okay.
But ask again.
Okay, I would like that, and let him know that I do now have, and it's all actually because of the situation that happened with your live. I do have a private, dedicated live room for subscribers only.
I love that.
Yeah, which gives a much greater control to the environment. No one outside can watch. It has to be paid subscribers only.
That's what he said about my interview too. He said mine got so spliced and diced.
Yeah, and if he would like to do that, I will send him a gift subscription. He doesn't have to pay for one, and I will give you one. And if you would both like to come in, I would love to have you both.
Awesome. I will get a hold of him
Okay,
and see what he says. I am going to go get my children here soon, so
okay,
we'll have to leave this live.
okay. One question, Logan.
More, honey.
You okay, so you'll watch I'm sure you'll watch his CBC interview. but
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it here when I get home from picking up the children.
you had mentioned in my live about his mother's dog in the RV barking just shortly after 9 on
Yeah.
Friday the 2nd. And when we were talking about the dog, you had made stated that the dog is really triggered
When Lily does that screaming.
yeah, mainly by Lily screaming, and is triggered by the kids.
Yes, because what animal isn't triggered by animals to run when they run around screaming and yelling?
Triggered by kids, yeah. And I had asked you the specific. I had said to you, well, wouldn't the dog have barked if somebody had walked on the property?
I'm not 100% sure because
Precisely, that's exactly what I was getting at. I couldn't remember precisely your words, but you had said, yeah, I don't know, but you said, I do know that the dog is triggered by the sound of the children.
Yeah.
Okay, and the only reason I raised this is that Daniel said in the CBC interview that he just recently did that, or the CBC had stated that the dog barks at everything.
I can never hear the dog when I get there. The dog's always my grandmother. My aunt always has the dog in her RV. So if I'm not paying attention for the dog, I ain't listening for the dog. So.
Okay. All right. Okay. I just wanted to sort of clarify that because to me, it sort of presents two different things. One, a dog.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I had one of those dogs that literally, seriously, if a leaf moved outside, this thing would explode. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that.
But the whole time, that I knew the dog, I never really paid attention to the dog because I'm not really of a dog person. So
Okay.
I would say hi to it, but like I'm not personally going there listening to see if the dog's barking at me. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I get
If
it.
I'm not listening for it, and I'm not an animal person myself. So
Yeah. She misspoke. So please don't make any kind of nonsense crap about that. You had said
my grandmother.
No, you had said animals are triggered by animals, and somebody in chat said, "Is she calling Lily an animal?"
Oh my God.
No,
I misspoke. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that will be my new meme.
Yeah, it'll be all over the internet, Logan.
Can't be any worse than what everybody else is saying. It's fine. I offered to spit in a cup the other day.
Oh no.
They asked
why? What happened?
Oh, because there's a group on Facebook with my Facebook profile saying, oh, do we even know if they're really related to Daniel and this, that, and the other thing?
Oh.
And all this stuff. And I said, would you like me to spit in a cup and send it to you?
Right.
I said, do
right.
you want my birth certificate? Do you like, what would you like? Because like, this ain't something to lie about.
Yeah. I mean, it took me about 2.5 weeks ago.
Stop that there. So as you guys can see, like Logan gets off in a minute, and then there's more to it that you guys can go right. Tell me if you didn't walk out of this with a headache, feeling a lot of tension between Logan and Cheryl, and honestly, it's enough to make your head spin. I mean, I'm not going to play it tonight because I just don't really have the time, but I'll play it. Kenton sent it to me the other day. You know, the spot where they say that the mother's family, like the mother's side, Malehya'S side, took them to where this blanket was, and now it's like this. You know, the more. So what happens is the more talking that goes on, and especially from someone like Cheryl, right, who's obviously giving what she was told. And then, you know, Logan comes up there and says, well, no, this is what time, and this is what time they left. And well, remember, there was two altercations. And so according to Belinda, we know that it was later, you know, not in the morning. It was later, like in the evening time, when that briefing happened and the altercation, etc. You know, and then she's saying the cars got repoed. What do you mean repoed? Wasn't it just taken? You know, the car was towed, but it was taken to where Malehya'S was, and they're talking about that. And who is that? I think it is that who is talking, Janie? I don't know. So I'm not sure. So in this particular video, so Cheryl is the one that posted the picture of Malehya'S and herself. Now, regardless of what you guys think all about it, maybe she's looking for attention, you know, probably not in her eyes, but maybe she wants 15 minutes of, you know, I think it's a stupid thing to do, to be honest with you. Now, whatever. All it is just, you know, a bunch of more twisted stuff to be added to all this. Belinda said that the dog was barking nonstop all the time. Remember, Darren said that Daniel lied about the blanket and said it wasn't the kids. And then I can't remember what Darren said, why he said Daniel lied about the blanket. Honestly, I think it was, I can't remember, to be honest with you. Do you guys remember why Darren said that Daniel lied and originally said no, it wasn't the children's blanket or, you know, Lily's blanket? And you guys, there's 300. Hi, Anon. How are you? So that means, well, you know what? No one seems to be able just to go from A to Z and tell the damn truth, you know, and that's what makes it more confusing. So let me put it this way. I'm not going to take anything that Cheryl says with any seriousness behind it. So if she was out at the beach with Malehya'S, you know, and they had a good day and whatever, like I said, maybe Malehya'S at the beach because she knows exactly where the children are. She ain't too worried about it. She's just letting the RCMP or what, I don't know, you guys, to be honest, because it's all just a bunch of bullshit and lies, right? I mean, the truth is out there. So, you know, so Daniel had told Belinda that the dog didn't bark, and basically that his mom didn't hear the kids. So how did that change? Like, you guys, I've seen that where Belinda has said, Daniel told me that, because she asked him about that, and his answer back was that the dog didn't bark and she didn't hear the kids. And then it twists around to now she did hear the kids and stuff like that. And, you know, to be honest with you, besides Belinda, for me personally, my own personal opinion, besides Belinda, I feel like the only second person that's truly trying to get answers is actually Darren. And the thing is that like anybody, right? You know, like, doesn't matter what he says, regardless, is that if he's trying to do his due diligence, but if he's being lied to, right? Because if he thinks that, you know, like, okay, you know what, I've been searching around, digging around, and, you know, I feel like Daniel's telling the truth type of thing. And so then he's more apt to believe that side, even though he's from Malehya'S side, right? Um, so it's just one of those things. Is that the second person that I feel like is working the hardest here to understand the truth is Darren. Whether he says GD on Dolly's show or not, um, the man put himself out there, and he's trying to do he's trying to find answers for Jack and Lily. And I'm not going to insult the man for at least being one of those few people that has the kahunas to literally put himself out in public like he has, and watch all these repercussions come back on him, and keep basically, you know, at some point he says, okay, I'm done with the case. And then he's like, right back, because he knows that he's not a quitter trying to find justice for Lily and Jack. That's I don't. So whether or not the information is believable from the Martell side or not, again, because it's his opinion, it's his thoughts, from the searching and digging that he's been trying to find out, right, which has led him to believe that Janie's a stand-up person, and that she's one of those ones that, you know, basically is just tell it like it is and stuff like that, and da 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 da. Again, this is one of those cases where you guys have to use your brain cells and just take the information that you think is credible versus not credible. Because right now we're just really in a state of confusion with, even like the Cheryl comes out, puts a picture of Malay and her up. Well, again, you know, in true crime, you're like, are you an idiot? Like, okay, thank you for the picture. Nobody really bought it that it was. It looked like an old picture. Who knows? Malaya hair is pretty long in that picture. When I go to her Facebook, I don't exactly see a ton of Malaya pictures. I see a ton of selfies. But, you know, is she just inserting herself into something that she really shouldn't be inserting herself into and causing more chaos? Well, again, she'll face those repercussions, Cheryl, because she's putting herself out there. She's sticking her nose out. But the thing is that she's saying stuff like, well, I was told it was on the rail, you know? So then people start going around going, well, the blanket was actually on the rail, because those people don't have brain cells to put together. So they go ahead and repeat that information, even though it's not even factual. I would just go back. Your baseline should be the factual stuff that we know. We factually know that Daniel talked to Charmaine. We factually know that Daniel has talked to Belinda. We factually know that Malaya has talked to Belinda on a couple occasions the day of the thing, right? So those are things we factually know. The interviews that Daniel's putting out, the interview that Malaya put out, but there's so many lies. Now, I know that Chris from, oh my God, I'm having a lapse of brain cells here. Come on, you guys. You know, monsters underneath. What's Chris's channel called? I'm having a brain fart. You know, shit. Somebody remind me. I'm having a freaking dumb moment here. Anyways, so Chris put out a video and he showed a piece of the lie, right? Which, honestly, it's a lot of work to gather the information, but every bit of me wants to put together, you know, a video with what was said. And I include the text in that because I know that they're legit. Mob crew. Thank you, Joni. I was having a freaking dumbass moment for a second here. But anyways, so there's definitely lies going on. We know that Malaya said, you know, and I tell Daniel. And then Daniel turns around and says, I asked Malaya, do you hear the kids? So we know there's lying going on for sure. Okay. Daniel, he also says that Malaya, and according to Darren, you know, I said to Darren, so are you saying that then Daniel lied? Because he keeps saying that Daniel's lying for Malaya, because basically he's a drooling man that's, you know, in his world. So we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. For all we know, that Malaya left him, took, the family's accusing him. She takes down all her pictures. She does that for a reason, obviously, right? There has to be a reason behind it. Was there abuse going on within that household that we don't know? Is Daniel like trying to portray like, yeah, just a wonderful relationship here when it really wasn't? And I get the impression that their relationship wasn't that great, by the signs that are out there, just by my own gut intuition and the feeling of what we've seen so far. Anyways, so this is why for me, I'm just looking at it. I don't like, for me, Jack and Lily. Let's do that actually. Okay, this channel here. Okay, so this is called Hidden in the Fog. There we go. That's the channel there if you want to go listen to the entire thing. Okay, and then hit subscribe while you're there. While you're here, you guys, if you don't mind, again, remember who this is for. This is the fight for answers for Jack and Lily. That's what it's about. I told Belinda, you know what? I'm going to message you in a few days. Take some time out. You need it. She just finished doing a 5.5-hour live with us. She was gracious enough because she wanted you guys to know that Land of Kings fundraiser is exactly for that, as well. Which reminds me, I'm going to have to take a look at this. So anyone that wants to be negative about a fundraiser and stuff, you know what? Like I said, if you're that person that wants to bitch about people donating and stuff like that to help out. So if the kids are alive, right, the money's going to go for the kids. But right now it's for bracelets that people want to buy bracelets and stuff like that. Let me just grab the link here. Copy link. Okay. So there are people that want to donate from overseas, and they just simply want to donate. So this is a GoFundMe that Lana and that started for the kids. Okay. So meaning there's people that want to donate and they don't have PayPal and whatever, and they can't do it. And they're from Australia and stuff. Okay. So this doesn't mean, you need to donate more than your bracelets. This is just for the people that want to help provide for the materials, for anything to do with Jack and Lily, for the sweatshirts, for the t-shirts, for the bracelets, for the kids' benches. Should those kids, regardless, there should be benches regardless, I think. But anyways, so Belinda stands behind Alana. Alana's the one that held the vigil. She will be holding another vigil on the 2nd. Well, she did contact Belinda. They did speak. I had spoke to Belinda. They did speak. Now, she was out driving. Let me put it this way. So I'll say she spoke to her. As for sending her the timeline, I don't believe so, besides talking to her about the situation. And what Belinda said was pretty much everything that Darren told us is, besides a couple mix-ups, Belinda said, other than that, everything that Darren stated about it was what happened. Okay. But I didn't want to press her on it because I knew she was exhausted and her head spinning around. Because we must understand, you guys, please hit that like and the share. Don't ever do it for the sake of the channel. Just do it for the sake of the victims. Do it for the sake of the family members that truly want that the word of mouth, their pictures out there, the awareness out there, so that Jack and Lily, unlike a lot of other cases, right, that they still stay in the forefront so that people can find, again, when cases die down, people forget about them, right? They do, and so Belinda has been nothing but gracious and a warrior, but these are her grandbabies. These are her son's children, right? Regardless about what you feel about the son, Cody, right? This is about Belinda that just wants to have answers. She understands totally that this might have a bad outcome. And of course, like any one of us, we pray that these children are hidden. We pray for that. We want that, right? We want to understand that hopefully what Darren's saying is possible. I mean, there's really, if you're thinking about Daniel and Malaya, there's only two reasonable explanations here. It's either three. Either Malaya and Daniel both know exactly what happened. Either Daniel's lying and Malaya's telling the truth, in a sense, amongst the lies, okay, amongst the little lies that they might have had to make, okay, or the opposite. Daniel's guilty as shit, and Malaya has done something. Maybe they both did something. So no matter what, so if Malaya took the kids and put them in the car, then you kind of got to go down that line that the kids are hidden. If Daniel did something, well, they're buried 6 feet under, type of thing, right? In the water, in the trees somewhere, because he knows the land. Hypothetically, if they both did something, that means that something happened inside of the house, and Malaya perhaps blames Daniel for it. That's why she left, and she's letting the RCMP do their job as they work to figure out the answers. Now, it's taken, like, you guys, it's 2 months, right? So 2 months, it's getting quite long there. So I keep hoping to the more extreme theory, which is that the children have been hidden and they're being protected. I would love for it to be that, than 10 feet under. Why did the mom take the kids' birth certificates and school pictures? And why did the reserve register the kids after? Well, there's obviously a reason why all of a sudden that they were given rights. Who knows? Maybe it's because, that they were given status because they are being hidden, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know what they do, how they do it, why they do it, and stuff like that. But is that strange? Absolutely. So why were they given it? Why was the chief there? The chief was there that day, Belinda said, right? They're having a prayer thing, and that's probably is when the children, when they were having that thing, that's probably when the children were given their status, is when the chief was there. I wouldn't doubt it if that's the case, to be honest with you. Hey, Nora, how are you? It costs money to maintain 2 children. Where's the money coming? Well, I'm sure welfare, but something about Darren had said that, like, Malaya's welfare or whatever was frozen. Her government money was frozen, and they were probably maybe arguing. We know that Malaya is stating she's in a controlling relationship. We can see that by her writing, right? Again, Malaya didn't know that those messages would end up across YouTube land here at the end of the day. But again, if you're speaking the truth, there's nothing to hide. And that's the point of all this. If you're speaking the truth, there's nothing to hide. So all this lying that's going on between Malaya and Daniel and whatever is what has even leads people to, of course, not stand behind somebody. How can you believe Daniel's words if we know Daniel's a liar, right? Because when you start off as a liar and you claim you're truthful all the time, right, you don't make those statements, because everyone white lies for sure. But you don't sit there. We're talking about lying during the case of 2 missing children, and you're going to lie for somebody. You're going to lie so meaning you love the kids more to love, love Malaya more to lie for her than you actually care about Jack and Lily, right? That's how pathetic people can do things, right? So I'm just, right now, for me personally, I'm just taking all the information in and just seeing where it goes, right? I know what stuff to keep and I know what stuff to throw to the side. Paul Duffy, a big loser, trying to spread around the fact that the children were at a park. And he spread something else around. So if you guys see that name, Paul Duffy, loser, big loser, just block him. All right. I blocked him from here. I don't need no idiots spewing off ridiculous crap. Don't come in here with ridiculous crap either, right? We got, if it's important, it will have receipts for the most part. But I'll take whatever family is saying. As for the friend, I'm taking her with a grain of salt. because obviously if she did have a day with, but I'm still taking her for a grain of salt. She would just be wise to back off, back out of it, you know, or you're going to bring the wrong attention to yourself. And you don't want that, Cheryl. So I would just keep your nose out of it, from the true crime side, or else, honestly, you're just going to get the repercussions of the true crime internet on there. Now, Darren, he's already been putting himself out there. He's fighting a fight. I don't care what you guys say about Darren. Any person that is trying to find the truth for Jack and Lily and willing to risk, putting himself out there. Granted, I feel sorry if his family members are being attacked. Absolutely. He didn't know the bowl full of freaking piranhas that were out there ready to attack and pounce and post his, address in his home and stuff like that, No. Oh, okay, was it a different chief? Was it a different chief? No, wrong chief. Chief Glode came. He's not from her band. Okay, thank you for clearing that up, because I was wondering about that, because I heard Millbrook. Right. So thank you for clearing that up, Heather. Because I had a feeling it wasn't. Well, see, I asked Belinda, but maybe she didn't understand the question, or maybe she wasn't paying attention to that. Because obviously, if I show a picture of Michelle Glasgow, the chief, and then then she agrees. So, I'll confirm that with her again as well. But I remember it being from Millbrook, and that to me would be a different chief. He's not from her band. He's from so thank you. Not Indian Brook, right? Yeah. Which is the Shuby. Okay, perfect. But thank you. Oh, what? You didn't mean to send this message, you mean? Now you got me all confused. I'm gonna go here though. In a minute, June. Pushing Daniel, Emily. You know what? Like I said, Chief Claude's a man. Right. Absolutely. Chief, I was thinking that's a man. But thank you so much. You know what? We just simply want answers for Jack and Lily. Okay, but who's ever culpable of this, it will come out in the wash regardless. All right, we don't know where the truth lies in this case, you guys. And honestly, because it's been lies from the start, even if Daniel is speaking the truth, even if Malaya comes out and says something, the only thing that's going to make a difference to us, really, is the fact that if we see Jack and Lily and that they're alive and well. Other than that, no matter what Daniel says, no matter what Malaya says, they're going to be words, and they might contradict their other words. But at the end of the day, this whole case is built on lies. So, that's up for the RCMP to obviously do their work on this case that way. So we can just take the information and have our own, theory on it and stuff like that. And just, that's all we can do, to be honest with you. But it's like having a relationship. How do you have a relationship or a foundation of a case or a relationship if that foundation is built on lies? You can't. So their lies, at the end of the day, it's about Jack and Lily. So if you guys haven't hit that like for Jack and Lily, please do. I would really appreciate that. I am going to drop the GoFundMe for Jack and Lily one more time. This is not a money grab, guys. I would never promote a money grab just for the sake of doing something. I always do everything from my heart. And if I felt like something was shady, you sure ain't going to see me post it. And I'm not going to help people if I feel like they're shady, okay? This is simply for if someone does want to donate to it, to add a little bit more to the pot for the materials for Jack and Lily's benches and, so be it. If they're alive, they'll get the money. But there's a lot of people overseas that want to donate, but they don't have the ability so much to do so through PayPal and stuff like that, okay? I don't know, honestly. and I don't want to speculate, um, on how much they were getting or not. We definitely know that the government pays money for disability and for children if you're of low income and stuff like that. Now, we know a lot of people abuse the system as well. But in this case, I think, and no offense, but the shit shack that they're living in, I don't think that, you know, that they had a ton of money. Belinda already said that the inside is just pretty much as bad as the outside, and that that's not the Malaya she knows. So again, not trying to put that down somebody's castle, but it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and go, "Oh my God, that thing must be beautiful on the inside." Belinda already said that the inside was just as bad as the outside, and she was inside of that. But anyways, so as for that part, you guys are wonderful. I really do appreciate you guys. Honestly, you guys are the ones that honestly really help to push out, this case, whether it's from Dolly Vision, whether it's from Michelle After Dark, whether it's from Mob Crew, Clutch Them Pearls, the people that are following the cases and stuff like that, Sadie, the behavioral one. And again, if you guys can go support that channel that I dropped the link for, it's in the description for Hidden in the Fog. You guys can go watch the rest of that. Again, that video that I played, it honestly, it was, I don't know, it was like one of the biggest headaches listening to them, because obviously, Logan is Daniel's cousin versus a friend of Malaya. So you got two. You could just feel like I mean, you guys don't get me wrong, and Logan, don't take this wrong, but you kind of got that personality in there that I get, right? That when people are, well, I don't know, I don't want to say that she's like me for sure, but she got that little bit of bitchy personality in there for sure. My bitchy personality, I don't really actually have one, but yeah, I mean, if you do piss me off and you do try to, be scum of the earth and stuff like that, and you're gonna lie, do I get pissed off to that person? Absolutely. Why? Right? That's why it's for me. I just lead this life of just tell the truth, just be honest. So if you're telling the truth, then Daniel, just tell it. Stop with the freaking ass lies and just tell it. Somebody tell the truth. Maybe Darren will get to the bottom of it all, before the RCMP. Who knows? RCMP seem to be fine and dandy. We don't know that. Oh, by the way, which reminds me, okay, because Nova, give me a second. Nova. I asked her to be up here the other day, like when I did the live for, when I did the live yesterday for members only. So I was actually waiting for Nova to get back to me, because she was going to join me. So she's someone from chat, and she has a YouTube channel. So I'm going to look for that in a second, because she covers this case. But the thing is that she answered me back to the other stuff, but she never answered me back about joining the live. And then just before the members live, because I was working, she had said, "What time do you want me to come on?" And I'm like, "Well, you didn't answer me back when I asked you if you would be interested in joining the live." So sometimes, you guys, when people message, right, either they purposely overlook a message or they just don't answer by mistake. And so I think that was a mistake. But I just took it for the fact that some people hop over questions if they maybe don't want to necessarily do it then, or something like that. So that's all I took it as, was that, okay, she just kind of overlooked the question. So anyways, anyone that sees Nova, let me just quickly find her channel on there, Nova. N-O-V. Nova. Shoot, what's her channel's name? I know it's Nova. Wait, oh no, here it is. Yeah, this is it right here. She has this name called Solistius. Okay. So hold on. Let me grab that. Okay. Um, Copy. Let me take this down for a second. And again, if you guys haven't hit the channel, the like for share for Jack and Lily, please do. If you guys don't mind, please. Share the screen. Okay. So this is Nova Haven. And so Solstice, I guess. But anyways, you can see she's been doing like lives and streamed one day ago. So see, you got Dolly on there. So I'm gonna drop her link, you guys. And if you guys don't mind, again, going subbing, support the channel. It's for Jack and Lily. Maybe you want to hear a new channel from a different perspective as well. Or they might be in alignment with yours. She might be. But happy Canada Day, everybody. Make sure. Happy Canada Day tomorrow. I have to work it myself, 10 to 6 my time. But I get my birthday off for working the holiday, which is July 3rd. So I'm going to, again, for anyone that's watching right now, on Thursday, okay, and as far as I know, Alexa's going to be joining me because I thought, oh, well, you know what? My sister's working, my husband's working. They work at the same place, by the way. I was like, maybe I can get a live in with Alexa in the afternoon. So it should be around, if as long as it goes to plan, it should be 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 o'clock Nova Scotia time, and PST time, it would be 1 p.m. on Thursday. Now, again, Alexa is a former, well, she still does work in it, but a former criminal profiler, graphologist, and body language expert, okay? So I really want to see what her thoughts are on Malehy'a and Daniel herself, you know? So anyways, I'm going to leave it at that, you guys. Yeah. So go support Nova's channel. Go support Hidden in the Fog's channel. Hit that subscribe button. You know, it's always good to have good channels that aren't AI, you know, and stuff like that. I'm going to go pretty much go to bed with my iPad and watch Dolly Vision, see what happened on there tonight and stuff like that. So you guys have a wonderful night, okay? You guys take care. And I'll play that clip the next time I do a live. I'll play that clip on Plunder where they talk about the blanket, you know, because that just all got like a bunch of freaking hogwash in there. I was like, wait, what? You know, my head was spinning. I was like, heck, nobody can seem just to get the freaking story straight. Thanks, guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, McNutt. And of course, Mark, you become a member for only $1.99 for 2 months. Thank you so much for that. Happy July 1st. Happy July 1st tomorrow, everybody. Thank you. Thanks, guys. All right. And again, oh, sorry. If anyone does find like, so you guys know how I showed what I believe to be Michelle Glasgow's brother, Michael McDonald, because her last name is truly that before marriage. So if you guys happen to actually have 100% tie to each of them, I just haven't had time to look. But if you do, send it to at crimingshame@gmail.com or message it on the It's a Criming Shame Facebook page to do that. Anyways, Durwood's son wasn't right. He said, yeah. Well, you know, we all know, right? When you grow up in a household, you're a product of your environment. So, hi, Lacey. So obviously, like father, like son. So if Darren said that word a lot growing up, of course the son is going to pick up that word, right? Because it's a natural thing. I say a lot of sayings that my mom said because it's part of the environment. But yeah, so whenever I say goddamn, right? Like I always spell it GAWD because when I say it, I'm not trying to take the Lord's name in vain, and I'm not a churchgoer. But people that are churchgoers take offense to the actual goddamn, like God when they say that. And so when I type it, and then I remember Deb from Deb's True Crime Notebook said, Sonny, can you please not say that word, right? Now, I'm not here to tell somebody what to do. If somebody says the word goddamn and somebody doesn't like it, again, that's really on you. Just like if I don't like it, if somebody says certain words, that's on me. But I get it that people that, go to church or, behind Bibles and stuff like that, don't get me wrong. You do you on that. But I can understand if you were brought up that was like a no-no. So I was brought up that you didn't take the Lord's name in vain, like from when I was a child, because my mom did ship us off to church and stuff. So I get that. But it's one of those things. It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, So don't be so much offended by the goddamn as much as you are just wanting to get the information out of it. Because at the end of the day, if someone critiqued everything that you said yourself, it's a two-way street. You might not like the word. He doesn't obviously think nothing about it. He's not thinking about it as taking the Lord's name in vain and stuff like that, right? So don't be too hard on that stuff because, again, you don't want people telling you what to say and do. So it's not really fair to put that upon others, what they should say. If you don't want to listen to them, then don't listen to them. That's your choice. If I say it, I ask for forgiveness. Well, yeah. Again, when I spell God, whenever I type it, I do that because I'm not meaning anything by it. It's like, oh God, that sucks. Like, so if I say, oh God, that sucks, right? Does that mean I'm saying, God, that sucks? No, I'm just saying, oh God, that sucks. So if I say God damn for like that, which I rarely say it anyway, that's how I'm meaning it, right? So I'm not, like I said, I don't go to church and stuff like that. Do I believe there's a other side? Absolutely. Do I believe that there's a higher power? Absolutely. Am I a Bible thumper? Absolutely not. Have I read the Bible? Absolutely. I just live my life like Buddhism, right? Be a good person. I don't need a religion to be a good person, to do good things and do that stuff, right? So that's how I personally look at it myself. My mom just sent us to church to get us out of her hair, and we just enjoyed the free cookie and the Sunday school. Doing things. Other than that, my mom's uncle gave me a really nice Bible. It was white with little gold on it. I remember that, and I used to read it all the time. And we went to Pentecostal Tabernacle and whatever, but never went to church after that, right? Just wasn't my thing personally. Not that I wouldn't ever go. Just it was my mom just sent us to get us out of her hair. Come on, kids, get on the bus. Need to get your asses to church. That was my mom's way of having her time on there. So, anyways, however you look at it, don't be so harsh on that. In a sense. Lord, Thunder, and Jesus. Bye. Exactly. Lord, Thunder, and Jesus. Get out of it. My ex was a Newfie. So, and then his cousin was from New Brunswick. My ex-husband's name is Steve. My husband's current name is Steve that I'm with my 10-year anniversary coming up. Now, my ex-husband's cousin, when I met my ex-husband, it was through a Vancouver chat line that my sister had. So imagine when you're on this chat line, right? And all I'm thinking is, what a bunch of losers. But anyways, it's on this chat line that my sister had. And it was like, hi, this is Steve and Steve. So they're spelled differently. My ex-husband is spelled with a PH. His cousin, Steve, is spelled with the V. My husband now, Steve Austin, is spelled with the V. But yeah, so all the time you would hear, Lord, Thunder, and Jesus, Yeah, do ya? You come to my church. I have a good church. Just kidding. Anyways, you guys take care. God bless. Oh, there you go. God bless. I see. I know I keep saying goodbye, but I never used to say God bless before. I'd say bless you. But a lot of people would say it to me. So I found that I'm now saying, God bless. Means Take care of yourselves. Good night, guys. I mean it this time. Ready? Bye-bye.